Well, a big role for me as a sportscaster is almost like a weatherman, predicting what might happen. As long as I get somewhat close, I keep my job. It's hard to see the positives in this season when the disappointment has been so great. But there is one way to eliminate those negative thoughts, and that's simply to win the Gator Bowl. I mean, I like you, but I mean, after, there's just so much I can handle.
By Friday at 10, I mean,
Tim Miles is a man of many talents. Good coach, solid storyteller, quality head of hair. Boy, how things change in just one season. Illinois all of a sudden looks as if they can play a little bit. Well, there are several things in life that I enjoy, such as a good book, The Grapes of Wrath, or The Great Gatsby. Yeah, those are two of my favorites. And welcome back here to Jacksonville, where the Huskers are Gator Bowl champs. Perhaps, but the biggest statement made New Year's Day came from the Black Shirts in the waning moments of this game. Martinez, two costly turnovers in the first half. The Buckeyes, Braxton Miller, as advertised. The Chiefs were 2-14. Plus, to make matters worse, they endured the loss of Javon Belcher. It was pure hell for the once proud franchise. Despite all the turmoil this year, Nebraska was once again in control of its Big Ten postseason destiny. Whatever the case may be, I think that's the most impressive part of his game is how quick his decisions are once he does get the ball. Nothing in life is a sure thing, except maybe me at a Pinkberry and a New York-style cheesecake on tap. You better believe I dominate one of those big cups. Creighton, of course, moving to the Big East next season, but Gibbs speaks for the entire team, and they truly believe a deep run in the tournament is very possible. It all starts here tomorrow against Cincinnati. I don't care what you think about the head coach, where the program is headed. That play is what fans live and die for. Let's bring back in Joe Quinn. Creighton gets the win over Missouri State, a tough, hard-fought road win, and it was all because of Doug McDermott. Well, Nebraska crossed itself off the Big Ten title list with an error-filled 5-turnover day en route to a 41-28 loss to Michigan State. So what now? What's next for the Huskers? What's next for Bo Pelini?
Action 3 Sports.
Creighton passed its initial Big East test, a 67-49 win over Marquette on New Year's Eve. But now it's uncharted waters. The Jays' first ever road game in the new conference, and it comes against Seton Hall, the second best scoring team in the Big East. So let's go out to Jersey. Snooki and JWoww surely in the crowd. Greg McDermott says, hey, give it to my kid. He's really good in transition. Devin Brooks obliges. Doug dropping the three. Jays up 7-3. Seton Hall staying close early. Kung Fu Quan Edwin gives the Pirates their only lead of the night at 11-9. All right, they look good, but not as good as this guy we call Dougie McBuckets right here in Omaha. In the lane, awkward works, tied at 11. Then the pump fake. Hey, diddle, that ball right in the middle. McDermott, 2 of 5 from three-point land. This time he thinks about the three, throws up the head fake, drives to the hole, finishes with his left hand. And guess what, guys? He can jump too. Yes, Grant Gibbs to the levitating Doug. Alley-oop off the inbounds play, 22 points, 7 boards, 2 assists in the first half. He finished with 30, his 19th career 30-point performance. Creighton wins 79-66, 2-0 in the Big East, thanks to Mr. McBuckets. Meanwhile, I wasn't born the last time Nebraska went on the road to knock off a top 5 team. They had their shot today at third-ranked Ohio State. Ray Gallego spotting up for the three, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it. Loose ball down low. That's from Happy Gilmore, if you didn't know, Justin. Gallego's right spot, right time, knocks down back-to-back triples for the 8-6 lead. Later in the first, down 6, Taron Petaway a little out of control. Aaron Craft, well, he's crafty, and he's a Buckeyes type. Steal and the layup on the other end, Ohio State up 8. After this game, Tim Miles said, quote, we've got some recruiting to do. Honestly, I love our guys, but that's what we need to do. I'd say so because the Huskers can't defend guys like that. That's Amir Williams with the jam. Nebraska blown out by the Buckeyes 84-53. 13th ranked Iowa State in West Texas to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. First half, Matt Thomas, short hair, don't care. 2 of 3 from 3. He had 8 points. Cyclones up 17, but the Red Raiders, well, they're coming at you. Jay Crockett buries the 3 from the top of the arc. That'll tie things up at 50. That guy doing the Dougie right there on the bench. Crockett, a game-high 20 points, 11 boards. Iowa State would regroup, and it started with the defense in the second half. The steal, the layup, the win. 73-62, tying the school record with their 13th consecutive victory. Well, if you thought Doug McDermott was good today, Mackenzie Fouillon said, watch this, but not this part. This was bad. Creighton on the wrong end of a 16-0 run. They trailed DePaul 27-12 to open up the game, but defense, again, key to get them back in it, and it's Fouillon leading the way. The layup gives her 5 straight points at this point. Jays trail by just 8 at the break. Creighton shot a measly 33% in the first half. That would change in the second. Lauren Works, the freshman from Lincoln Southwest, drains the Wragge Ranger. Jays take their first lead, 43-41. The rest, it's all Mackenzie Fouillon. Lefty off the glass for 2, then the stop, pop, open up shop. Oh, come on. Really? Jeez, Mackenzie Fouillon, bananas today, 38 points. Creighton remains undefeated in the Big East, 86-78 the final from Sokol. I'm very disappointed in you. Here's your pin. 6 of the last 8 Super Bowl champs played on this weekend, wild card weekend. Well, that's where the Chiefs found themselves today, despite backing their way into the postseason, losing 5 of their last 7. It's a rematch of 3 weeks ago. Colts and KC. Alex Smith in his first ever playoff game with the Chiefs. He's balling out, finding Nile Davis 10 yards out to go up 38-10. So put this one on ice, right? Well, Andrew Luck is made for this type of thing. 10 game-winning drives the last 2 seasons. Could he make it 11? Down 10, Donald Brown fumbles on the goal line. And then a bit of luck. Colts get the touchdown just how they Andrew it up. Indy down just 3, 10 to go. More luck, or maybe he's just good. A 64-yard dart from the start in stride. Ty Hilton for the score. Andrew Luck, 29-45, 443 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Chiefs still have a chance. 4th and 11. Alex Smith, that's incomplete. Dwayne Bowe is out of bounds. Colts complete the 2nd largest comeback in NFL playoff history. 45-44 the final. The Chiefs' losing streak in the postseason moves to 8 in a row.
Now, Action 3 Sports.
Last time these two teams met, Doug McDermott did Doug McDermott things. A huge game, 34 points, 9 rebounds. Jays win at Berkeley. Booyah in your face. That guy is good. So let's re-rack, switch venues, and watch him do it again. Doug McDermott, a potential 3-time All-American candidate and a guaranteed headache to anyone trying to guard him. Yet Cal actually did a good job early. Doug's runner in the lane. It's a little short. McDermott struggles starting the game 1 of 7 from the field, but Creighton can't buy a bucket nearly 3 minutes into this one before Ethan Wragge gets the Jays on the scoreboard. Wragge 3 of 8 from downtown for 9 points. Richard Solomon providing the only excitement from Cal in this game. Monster jam cutting the Jays lead to 4, but Doug McDermott eventually gets going. Big pass here from Grant Gibbs, the layup. Doug thanks Grant. Grant thanks Doug for the scholarship. And he's off. And by off, I mean off and running. Spin move off the glass, 26-19 Jays. This time, whee! Spinning jump shots are fun. Time running out in the first. Wragge shot right here off the mark, but there's Doug for the putback before the buzzer. He had 8 points and a 10-1 run that ended the half. Jays up 30-19. To the second now, Doug just inside the 3-point line, daring this guy to guard him. He can do no wrong. All up in his face, it's good. So is number 3, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Double-double Doug carries Creighton to a 68-54 win over California, but his daddy wants to talk defense. South Sioux City superstar Mike Gasol in Iowa hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff. Gasol steals the inbounds pass and hearts of girls all across Iowa City. 2 of his 4 points right there. Hawkeyes rolling. Slick passing from Peter Jock to Jared Utah. He slams at home. Utah a team high 16 on 6 of 8 from the floor. Iowa led 52-18 at halftime. They go on to win 86-61. Same score as Iowa State, and that is totes weird. You know what else is totes weird? The Chiefs being good. Even weirder, their offense scoring 101 points the last 2 weeks. Now, that's a lot for 3, maybe 4 games, but they did it in 2, winning both. So, could Andy Reid's bunch keep rolling against the Colts? First drive was flawless. Jamal Charles gets the handoff, and all he does is make people miss. Born and bred in the great state of Texas, Jamal Charles, 31 yards for the touchdown. He finished with 106 yards on 13 carries. So why so few carries, you ask? You should ask, what can Brown do for you? Donald Brown, no clue who he is, but he was balling. 51 of his 79 rushing yards right there. He also had a touchdown catch. Colts win 23-7. Chiefs offense anemic. They take the blame this afternoon.
Marching down the way we did.
Nothing in life is a sure thing, except maybe me at a Pinkberry and a New York-style cheesecake on tap. You better believe I dominate one of those big cups. Life, though, take nothing for granted. If you're Creighton and Arkansas Pine Bluff is in town, you can already mark down your 5th straight win over the Golden Lions. But they still have to play the game. And they still have to jump around before the game starts. All that does is warm up Doug McDermott's hammies. An alley-oop to start the game, 2-0 Jays. Rarely do we see this athletic Doug, but often we see long-distance Doug McDermott. 2 of 6 from three-point land. Ethan Wragge making his 3rd straight start, and he's developing a trend here. 5th straight game with 4 or more made three-pointers. He finished with 12 points, but Coach McDermott knows his team can shoot, but he wants to see better defense. Shahin's man got the steal, lays it in for the bucket and the foul. He'd make the free throw. Jays up 9 just 4 minutes in. This game, as with every other one, belongs to number 3. 25 points, 9 rebounds. The kid is a dude. Creighton covers 88-51 the final. 9 days off, no problem for the Jays.
Action 3 Sports.
Jeremiah Searles said last night was the worst experience of his life. Wait, what? You mean the catch that'll go down as one of the best moments in Husker history wasn't exhilarating, magical, and unbelievable? Well, Jeremiah Searles was on the bottom of that pile in the south end zone, trapped. The senior offensive lineman, all 6'6", 310 pounds of a man, is claustrophobic. He said it was scary, but totally worth it. Jordan Westerkamp and Ron Kellogg will forever be remembered for that play, but if it weren't for Amir Abdullah's shoestring catch on 4th down and 6, Husker fans would have gone home with a completely different memory.
That was a great play.
Because of his heart and soul.
Amir is the best player on the Nebraska roster, hands down. The junior racked up 127 yards on 24 carries, pushing his season total to 1,108 yards. He's the first to 1,000 yards in 8 or fewer games since Amon Green did it back in 1997 in 8 games. Meanwhile, the defense had a hand in the miracle at Memorial. After finding themselves down by 2 touchdowns, the Black Shirts flipped the switch and played lockdown defense in the second half. Northwestern's offense simply couldn't get anything going.
We just pulled in the guys. What are we doing?
Going into Michigan.
Motion to tight end. Play action.
And Michigan will pose a much stiffer challenge for the Huskers. Despite being held to just 6 points against Michigan State yesterday, the Wolverines still average nearly 40 points per game this season. Well, coming into today, the Chiefs were 8-0. The 20th time since the merger back in 1970 did an NFL team have this type of start. The previous 19 times, 12 of those teams at least made it to the Super Bowl. Today, Kansas City was just trying to get past the Bills in Buffalo for the first time since '86. Chiefs down by 7 in the 3rd. Bills on the goal line, and Sean Smith, he's really fast. Interception. He returns it 100 yards the other direction to tie the game. 4th quarter, still tied. Jeff Toole hits T.J. Graham. That's on the ground, and that's when Tamba Ali scoops it up and scores the 2nd defensive touchdown for Kansas City. The Chiefs do not score an offensive touchdown, but they still win 23-13.